My name's Caleb, and my dad's dead. So your dad's also dead, or just dead to you. Follow along. I'll teach you something he probably should have taught you. Today I'm going to show you how to change a tire. It's been requested by a handful of people, so let's get into it. First step is making sure that you have the right tools in your car at any given time. You're going to need a tire iron, a car jack, and a spare tire. This is your reminder to go and check your vehicle, make sure you have all this stuff, because it always happens at the worst time that you need to change a tire. Go and make sure you have the stuff and that you have enough pressure in your spare tire. On the inside of any car door, a sticker either on the door itself or on the inside, it'll show you the front tires, PSI, the rear tires, and the spare. So my spare needs 35 PSI. To check your tire pressure, you can either use a pressure gauge, buy one, keep it in your car, or you can go to a gas station and use one of the air pumps. Some cars have a cover plate like my truck here. These typically are not put on overly tight, and you don't want to overly tighten them because they're typically made of plastic. Before lifting your truck off the ground, you want to loosen all of the lug nuts. That way, while it's up on the jack, you're not wrenching down on it and it doesn't have a chance of moving. One thing that I want to point out, if you have a tire iron like this, you want to be careful as you're loosening that you don't accidentally come off of the lug nut a little bit on one side, because it can really easily strip out the lug nut. So before you lift the vehicle off the ground, you want to make sure and engage your emergency brake. If possible, where you're stopped, you want to put blocks or rocks behind each of the other tires. You want to make sure that you put the jack in a stable spot. Not necessarily emotionally, but definitely physically. Good places to put the jack are typically the frame of the car or under an axle. Jacks are pretty simple. They have this dial right here that you can tighten and it lifts, or loosen and it drops. Once you get the jack in place, you use this tool to be able to crank it up. Makes it a lot easier when it's lifting a heavy car or truck. You don't need the tire to be too high off of the ground, just high enough that you can slip it off once you take off the rest of the lug nuts. Unless you want a no fudge moment, please don't lose these lug nuts. Once the lug nuts are off, the tire should be able to pull straight off. Once this tire is off, you can replace it with the spare. I'm sure most of you know, but just in case you don't, a spare is not meant to be driven on for long periods of times or high speeds. Most of them want you to stay under 50 miles per hour. So at your earliest convenience, make sure you get to the shop and replace that tire. So no worries if you can't make it to the shop until the next day. You just don't want to drive on it for days on end. Once the spare is back on, you just want to do all of the steps in reverse. My hope with this is that you'd never feel stranded when your tire's flat or blows on the freeway. Thanks for following. I love you all.